Hey guys, welcome to the Two Dogs Podcast. I'm Dr. Inky.
I'm Dr. Ellie here, and he has not screwed up the introduction for once. Yeah. Yay. Anyway, two doctors. We talk about all sorts of different issues, generally non-medical, self-help,
A lot of self-help.
a lot of self-help, and tips on how to grow and make yourself better.
Yeah.
Right. So last week we were talking about lessons learned from Singapore because we were in Singapore just a couple of weeks ago. This week, Dr. Inky is going to lead.
Yes. So my topic for today is you should change your friends every 5 to 10 years.
Change your friends every 5 to 10 years.
Always change your friends every 5 to 10 years. Now, hear me out. This is my argument.
Yeah, because I'm counting now. We've got 2 more years to 5.
Yeah, I think, close already. I have to change you already soon.
Yeah,
all right, we have to break up soon. So, what happens is, we grew up friends, all right? We need friends around us, As we get older also, we need friends. However, as we get older, we always realize that, hey, we actually have lesser and lesser friends over time. It's not like last time high school, right? Tons of, you have a lot of friends.
Right?
Full of friends. Now, if you can count on just a handful of good friends itself, right? You count yourself lucky.
Yeah.
However, a lot of times, right, friends actually hold you back from becoming who you can be or who you potentially can be. Now, all of us, we have this ideal image of what we want to be.
Okay.
Right? Everyone is different. Some people want to be rich, some people want to have a good career, some people want to be kind.
And we change also.
Yeah. And the goals change over time. Maybe when you're young, you're more driven, you want to have you want to climb the corporate ladder. But when you're older, you want to settle down a little bit, and you want to spend more time with family. But we go through different seasons in our life.
Yep.
All right, just like an entire year. Not in Malaysia, we only have 2 seasons, right? Hot and wet, right? But in most countries, it's 4 seasons. But friends come and go just like seasons. The reason being is when you're at a particular point in time. Let's say you're back in high school. All right, and I always get this, when I meet back with when I meet up with my high school friends, right, we end up regressing back to what we were in high school. We make silly jokes like what we were in high school. We swear, we talk about all the good old days. But we never talk about the future. Whenever we meet friends from our past, right, we never talk about what's going to happen in the future. We always talk about the good memories back then. And
you catch up until today.
And you catch up until today, right? But we never talk about
future.
What's coming ahead. And a lot of times people do give comments like, hey, you've changed a lot, right? You've changed, whether it's for the good or for the bad. People will say you have changed. And sometimes there are people, right, who do not like it when you have changed, especially when they used to be very close to you.
And they've not changed.
And they have not changed. Exactly. It means friends that used to be very close to you suddenly tell you, hey, you have changed so much, I don't recognize you anymore. And truth be told, right, these are the friends that you have to leave behind. Because they tend to hold you back. Because they are now giving you flack and giving you crap for you wanting to be better. So when they are when you surround yourself with friends who are not trying to make you better, they're actually holding you back. So hence there's a very good argument to why you should change your friends very often. Every 5 years to every 10 years. Why? Is because once you've reached a certain age, right, again, different seasons, you want different things. And when you want different things, you have to mix with different friends. Example, now that you want to settle down with your family, you should stop mixing with friends who are still chasing the corporate ladder. Because
or the ones who are going clubbing.
Example, if let's say you want to spend more time with your kids, the ones that are that are still chasing the corporate ladder would then tell you, hey, how come you've changed? How come you slow down? Don't spend time with your family. Come out with us. I want to bring you networking lah. I want to give you business contacts and stuff like that. But they don't see from your point of view. From your point of view is, hey, I've done that. I don't want to do that anymore. I want to now spend time with my family, right? And I think we've spoke about this many times. Right? You are the sum of you are the average sum of your 5 friends.
5 friends,
right? So it means that whoever you surround yourself with, you are the sum. And if you want to be a family person, however, your friends, maybe go out, maybe go clubbing, late night, womanize, you will end up falling like them. And then you will end up missing your goal. So it's okay to actually change your friends from time to time. And one of the things that a lot of people tend to they tend to say, hey, very sayang, in Malay it's like, oh, very sayang, we've had such a long friendship and you just gave up on us. It's actually okay to actually give up on your friends because they have other goals. Imagine you cannot be friends. You cannot remain close friends, right, for 10 to 20 years
With the same bunch.
with the same bunch,
and
and still keep the same goals.
Yep.
Everyone has different goals because you go through different experience in life.
Yep.
So when you do end up together, mixing or you hang out together, sometimes, right, I don't know whether you feel it or not, but sometimes I feel I'm forced to be there. Even though we used to be like
super close, best
friends. You have all your inside jokes. Then after when you meet up, right, after like 10 years you meet up, it's like, I really want to go home already. Go home already. I don't want to mix with you guys anymore. It's not because it's
all right.
It's none of your
when
fault.
was the first time you realized this? I mean, this. Did you read about this?
No. I always felt it. Okay. I always felt it.
When was the first time you actually realized this?
The first time I actually realized this was when I started working. All right, and I think the first couple of years when I started working as a houseman, and I met my friends from high school. Then I realized that I can't really talk to them anymore. We used to be really close, meet one another every day. Even back in this was high school, right? And even back in college, we used to hang out. But when I started working, I realized that I can't talk to them. Again, it's different because all of us have pursued different careers. We are at different points in our life. Some have started work early, some of us started work a little bit late. So because we are at different points in our life and we are exposed to different things and we want different things. Like one of my friends was already getting married while I just started working. So we are no longer on the same path.
Okay.
And because we are no longer on the same path, right, the conversations are
It starts to change.
Yeah,
and it gets a bit stale.
And
there's
because
this awkward silence.
Yeah, it becomes very superficial. It's like, what do you eat yesterday lah? How was the weather today lah? Things like that, very superficial. It's no longer
something that's engaging, stimulation.
Exactly. It's no longer that stimulating talk that we used to have. Have you had that thing?
Right. So I had that feeling also, but it was a more social realization. I realized when I went out with my friends, right, they still want to drink Guinness and beer. And I'm not there. I was into just having a glass of wine and that's it. And they just go, you're very atas. I'm like, it's not that I'm atas. It's my preference.
That's true.
And that was the point when I realized, right, it's weird, but suddenly I feel like don't click that well.
Yeah.
They stare at me like as though I'm some
alien,
outcast and that, like you don't belong in this group anymore unless you join us and drink the same thing. I'm like, but that's just preference and that's it. And it's interesting that you brought this topic up because at that point onwards, then I realized, right, we start to drift. And then they start to have their own group of friends, they got their own interests, and I drift and did my own thing, and then I started to find new friends, different bunch of friends. Yeah, so that's why I was very curious how you got your realization.
I think it's after
then.
so many years, right? After 40 years of living, then you realize, hey, actually we used to have different groups of friends, but I no longer meet up or talk to them anymore.
Yeah.
And even some of my high school friends, we up to a couple of years ago, we used to try and meet up if it's possible like once a year during Chinese New Year. But now I no longer make an effort to actually want to talk to any of them. Even though we have a WhatsApp group, but the group is silent, right? No one talks there anymore.
Yeah.
And if possible, I don't want any of them to actually message. So one of the funny thing is, then how do you deal with friends that from the past that you do not want to talk to anymore and they start messaging you, say, hey, let's meet up. So what are your strategies on trying to avoid that?
Well, I generally don't really avoid that actively, and I think seeing them once a year and put up that nice to be here, even though in deep inside it's like I want to go home kind of feeling, but I still try to make it a point at least once a year to meet up with them. Then gradually became once in 2 years, once in 2.5 years, but still to make an effort. Still make maybe half an effort. At least 50-cent effort.
At least it's nice lah. For me, I would.
You
not
just
make
cut
an
off.
effort. I just cut off.
You just cut off.
If the
then
message,
what do you do? You just ignore.
No, if the message,
I'm busy.
If the message, if we used to have a very close relationship, then I would say, hey, I'm busy. I'll contact you when I'm free. Then I usually don't contact them. But if we are not that close, I ignore ignore the message, right? Immediately, I just ignore the message, mute it, delete the message. I just don't, because for me, I don't want to waste my time meeting up with someone, because again, I have limited time in this world. I don't want to waste my time on an endeavor whereby I don't get anything in return. All right, I'm not mentally stimulated. I'm not emotionally fulfilled. So there are times whereby when you meet people, right, you say, hey, that was a really good session, catch up. I really like catching up. But many a times when you mix with friends who are no longer within your same clique, right, you don't get the feeling, and be like, should just stay home and watch TV.
Should I just ignore the message?
I should just watch Netflix. And also, every time you meet up with your old bunch of friends who don't bring you any value, you're actually devoiding yourself or removing the opportunity to meet new people.
That is true. That is true. Either you're devoiding that opportunity to meet new people, or just resting yourself. Because we're busy people. So actually sitting down and being in your own zone, I appreciate that. I appreciate being in my own zone, doing my own thing, reading, blanking out, or watching Netflix, or listening music, but just blanking out from the world for a while.
Yep.
Yeah, and there are times whereby you know how old friends, I'm not sure whether it happens to you, when one message, right, suddenly that month, right, was old friends want to meet you up month.
Yep, it happens.
Ding, 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 ding. One after another, we're like, hey, Inky, long time never see you.
Yeah.
Are you free?
It happens.
Next week? Tomorrow? Or suddenly they'll be like, I'm in the area, can I come and see you now?
It happens when it happens.
It happens, right?
Yeah, it happens.
It's this law of attraction in the world. When one comes, all want to come at the same time.
Exactly.
And in that case, I nitpick lah. Yeah, I might pick one and I might ignore the rest. I'm quite well known to be the one that never shows up.
Oh really? Yeah. I thought you were the social butterfly. You go and social up for events.
Come on, once a year, once in 2 years. That's about as best as I can slot it in already. But otherwise, no, I'm comfortable with just the same bunch, and then later, like you said, move on to the next bunch, move on to the next bunch.
Yeah. So even there are times, even these days, because at our age, right, you have a lot of friends will message, hey, it's my kid's birthday, do you want to come? And say, I don't really want to talk to you already, and I don't really know your kids, so I'm not going to come. I always text them, I'm sorry, I'm busy that day. I'm busy that day, or my kids have something on. And really, I'd rather spend time with my kids rather than go for an event whereby I have, I don't know anyone there, and I just probably just meet them just for a short while.
Yeah. So I've been in that kind of sticky situation before. I should have just ignored the call rather than go there. And usually, even if that happens, I usually go alone. So I don't bring the whole family. I don't bring my kids to torture them. So I just go alone. I just say the rest. Everyone else is busy. I show face. And at the first opportunity I get to go to the toilet, I will not come back.
He disappear. He does the whole toilet trick. Hey, I'm going to toilet for. Hey, Messi, I don't know.
Fell in the toilet bowl, and that kind of thing. Yeah. But I think what is important for those who are listening in is that it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay to actually
it's
change
okay
friends.
to change friends.
And don't feel guilty when someone guilt trips you.
Correct.
I think that's very important.
I think that's the most important part. Where is do not allow your old friends to guilt trip you.
Yep.
And if they guilt trip you, right, that means it's time to cut the cord.
Yeah.
Right. It's time to move on. They are no longer your friends.
Okay. Some relatives who are second cousins onwards. They're not close direct ones whereby you need to report back for dinner and all this kind of or direct family function, right? Second cousins who at once upon a time you're close.
I used to be close,
Yeah. So because blood is thicker than water, when these things happen, right, will you just ignore them too?
No. So a lot of times, if it's possible, I will not attend any family function that which is like distant family. If it's immediate, right,
the immediate
brothers, sisters, very close cousins, yes, I will still go. But if it's like very distant, it's like, hey, I haven't seen this relative like for a couple of years already, and suddenly the invitation for his kid's wedding comes out, I say, I'm not going. I'm not going. Right, because number one, it's an expensive endeavor. I have to pay ang bao. It's the whole Chinese culture lah. You have to pay. You have to give them money to attend their wedding. So number one, I have to do that. Number two, again, I have to make small talk with the people around me, which I don't want to. And Chinese weddings, right, are long.
Very long.
They're long.
Very
They're
long.
At least 2 to 3 hours long.
And it's sit down, so you cannot disappear.
You cannot disappear.
Yeah, Malay weddings is
Malay
buffet,
weddings
you can
are
just
still
disappear.
okay. Yes, you
and
can
they expect you
disappear.
to get lost. Also.
Yes, because they want you to make way for other people to come. But the Chinese wedding, you can't disappear because the seats are allocated. And when you disappear, people are asking, "Hey, where's Ali? How come Ali haven't come
the
back for
whole
the
hole is still there. No? Let's leave the food for him.
Yeah, let's put some exactly. Let's put some food on his table also.
Yeah, then suddenly they will say, "Hey, we saved all the food for you. Where were you?"
Yeah, so if it's possible, I'll try and avoid as well. All right, because again, my time is limited. My effort is limited. I don't want to spend too much time on things that doesn't bring me joy.
So again, not just applies to friends. So even if you're relatives, right? I think we need to learn how to value our time and don't fall into guilt trips.
Yeah,
don't fall into guilt trips. I mean, send them a postcard.
Yeah.
Send them a hamper.
Yeah, send them a hamper.
Send
lah.
a hamper.
Exactly. Just send them a hamper. Say, hey,
congratulations for whatever. Here's a hamper, or
Sorry,
if
couldn't
it's a
make it.
kid's birthday, send them a gift. Nowadays with Shopee and
it's so much
Lazada, you can
easier.
just deliver anyway. Yeah, don't even need to wrap it yourself. Yeah. So when they arrive, hey, surprise! Good enough. From your lovable Uncle Inky. That's it. Finish. What's your parting tip for anyone who is faced with sticky situations? I mean, you're cool.
I'm cool. I just
cut and
cut the
and
cord.
chow. That's it. The typical Malaysian who are we give a lot of face one.
Okay, so if you're a typical person, or if you're a person that cannot just cut the cord and you want to be nice and apologetic, I would say it's good to just drop them a message or just give them a call. Say, hey, I would really love to meet up, but you know what? There is a lot of things that I need to do. Let me get those done first, and then if I have the time in the future, I will get back to you. All right. If you don't want to message, nowadays we message, but if you don't want to message, you want to be more personal, you can always give them a call.
Yeah. I think a call is nice.
I think a phone call is good enough.
It also cuts off the texting time.
Yeah, exactly. And it's straight to the point.
And people hear the sincerity.
Correct.
Like a rejection on a message, they put in the voice. Because if they hear your voice, you just need to be a good voice actor. That's all.
Yeah. Then yourself, what tips do you have?
Tips that I have. Just keep saying. I think next week should be.
Next week should be.
I mean, this is the easy way out, right?
That's right.
Let's meet next week. I'll let you know next week. I'll let you know next week about the next week.
No lah, easy one, you can actually block them. Block them. Suddenly they're reading the text in just a single tick. So if you get a single tick from Ellie or myself, right? You're blocked.
Yes, we're busy.
Yes.
Yeah, we're just very busy. Well, anyway, hope you guys found this session useful. It's all about changing your friends every 5 to 10 years.
Every 5 to 10 years.
5 to 10 years. But having said such, if those friends are worthy of keeping, please keep them. Don't take us hard and fast and say, hey, 5 years already, time to get rid of you.
All of you guys, delete all your contacts.
Change phone.
No. So if they are not in line with your vision of yourself, right? It's
of who you want to be.
Of who you want to be. It's okay. It's okay to not contact them so much.
Yeah.
But if you have friends who are still in line of who you want to be or someone that you want to emulate, keep them around.
How many friends you have that's
Truly around?
More than 10 years?
More than 10 years.
Okay.
I would say probably about 5.
5?
About 5. Who I still keep in contact on a daily basis. We message one another very, very often.
That's like your
Right,
business partners, really.
Something like that, right? So I actually know them longer than know my wife, lah. So but other than that, no. I would say the other section of my close friends are probably people I know in just the past couple of years only.
And they just
and they just change.
Recycle, upcycle,
change.
Okay. So hope you guys realize it's okay to change friends. All right, don't get guilt tripped. Let us know if you've been guilt tripped. How did you deal with it? Or did you just succumb and continue being very nice?
Being friends with them.
Being friends and then attend functions that you don't want to attend.
Be, yes.
And then at the back of it, text everyone and say, I don't want to be here, I don't want to be here, I don't want to be here. Or you play Candy Crush the whole time.
Yes.
There you go. That's the other way of saying, I really don't want to be here. Play Candy Crush. All right, we'll be back again next week with another topic on the Two Dogs podcast. We are on Docuity. We're also on YouTube.
Correct. We're on YouTube, we're on Spotify. So
Facebook.
if you just give us a like, a share, or just comment, right? Just comment. Let us know what are the topics that you want us to talk about.
Yeah, that you want to talk about. Please, non-medical ones.
Yeah, exactly.
Once in a while. Twice a year we'll do a medical talk. Okay, till then, signing off. Have yourself a good weekend. Dr. Ali here.
And Dr. Ingi, have a good weekend.